Hello and welcome to the annual general meeting for Oak Tree Retirement Village, Goonellabah. My name is Nick and I'm one of the financial accountants that look after the villages here at Oak Tree. As noted in the AGM packs previously provided to you, due to the impact of COVID-19 and various travel restrictions, we've had to deliver the AGM for 2021 through video. The format of this recording will be the same as one delivered in person, and we will be following the agenda that was previously outlined in the notice of meeting. Prior to working through the agenda, we will go over the annual meeting guidance, which provides a refresher of the different types of funds. So if you're following along, this is Annexure 1. So the first account is the village account. And the residents fund this through the recurrent charges. And this covers all village expenses such as wages, rates, water, electricity, insurance, gardening, community centre amenities, and the like. This also provides fund for the quantity surveyor report, and this report provides guidance over 10 years. There is a site visit every 3 years and it is updated in the alternating 2 years. Moving through to the Capital Works Fund, the residents fund this through the recurrent charge, and this covers all the village preventative and ad hoc maintenance. It essentially acts like a sinking fund in your normal body corporate, and funds are put away for repairs this year as well as future years. Examples of this include items such as gate repairs, oven repairs, the termite pest control, garden mulching and painting. Lastly, there is the capital replacement, and Oak Tree will fund the replacement of all capital items as per the legislation. So moving through to point 1 of the agenda, and this is the explanation of any material variances between actuals and budgets for the year. So noting firstly that the auditors in the current year were BDO, and that their audit opinion confirms that they believe the financials are fairly represented as of the 30th of June. So noting here that the village came in $23,185 under budget, and we'll now work through the overs and unders. Firstly, management services. This line includes expenses such as wages, annual leave and bank fees for the village, and noting that the spend for the year was $27,679 over budget. And this is due to the following: village manager hours spent driving the bus that weren't allocated out to the motor vehicle line, $4,871 of annual leave expense. This was not included in the budget and is additional. And then lastly, the remainder is for wages for the groundsman that was not allocated out to the various expense lines such as gardening and general maintenance. So moving through to gardening services and general maintenance, noting that the spend here came in $17,417 under budget. And this underspend again was purely due to the allocation of labour between the expense lines. There was a provision for the relief contractor in the budget that was also not used, contributing to this underspend. Moving through to motor vehicles, this came in $9,401 under budget, and this expense includes an allocation for the village manager to drive the bus, which was not allocated out to out of the management services lines. Apology for that. So moving through to insurance for both property and public liability, noting that this spend came in $6,201 over budget. So just to note here that this is a cost that Oak Tree cannot control. However, each year at renewal time, Oak Tree will test the market and go to a various number of underwriters to see if we can get the best price while still maintaining the required level of coverage. We've been seeing these costs rise across the board, and work has been done at an industry level to try and stem the flow here. And lastly, moving to occupancy costs. So these are $38,173 under budget, and this is predominantly due to the sewer charge. The budget is based on 80 pedestals, i.e. one for each completed villa, whilst the council only bills the residents for 8. Note that we have not adjusted the budget for this, as we are unsure as if the council will move to charging us for 80, and we wish to keep this in the budget so that your fees will not increase. So that's the village fund. So moving down through to the CWF. So noting that the CWF expenditure came in at $10,393 under budget. So firstly, there was the garage door motor line, and this came in over budget by $1,838, and this was due to servicing for 37 villas per the maintenance plan, as well as the supply of remotes. There were other additional minor immaterial expenses in this line. Gate repairs, this came in at $2,818 over budget, and this is due to work being carried out on the magnetic locks, as well as the supply and installation of a control board. Note we have spoken with the QS in regards to the impact of the second gate on the budget, and we've asked that this be considered when they are drafting their next forecast. Moving through to plumbing and drain repairs, note that this came in over budget by $2,940, and this was mainly due to the addition of raised inspection openings, clearing of lines, and backflow testing. And then lastly, the pressure clean of paths and driveways. This came in over budget by $2,300, and this is primarily due to the lack of budget allocated in this year, and the expense incurred relates to the allocation of the groundsman wages for the work which was carried out. And lastly, just to note that the bank account as of the 30th of June was $117,653. So there is a very healthy amount of funds there for future work. So moving through to the next agenda points. Agenda point 2, any changes to the proposed 2021 budget that did not require residents' consent? There were no changes. 3, any proposal for capital works that were not notified in the 2022 annual budget? There are no proposed changes and works will be carried out per the QS plan. 4, other items including any proposed maintenance plans. There are no other proposed maintenance plans. 5, future plans for the village including any proposed improvements. There are no proposed or actual changes to the village. 6, any change or proposed change to the management of the services. There are no proposed changes. Oak Tree will remain the operator of the village. 7, any proposed changes to the level of service provided to the residents. There are no proposed changes. 8, any safety issues. As of the date of recording this video, there are no safety issues that we are aware of. And lastly, point 9, there was time for questions lodged in advance or recorded on notice. However, as of the date of recording this video, there have been no questions provided in advance. However, after this meeting, we invite you to review the AGM packs, and if you have any questions submit them to your village manager in writing no more than 7 days after this meeting, and the village manager will forward these to finance. From there, finance will prepare detailed minutes, which will provide the answers to all your questions. Thank you very much for attending the AGM for Goonellabah for FY21.